Number 11, recruiting without chasing. Man, if you can master this skill, it will make doing your network marketing business so much more enjoyable for you and for your prospects, okay? and it'll be much less difficult for you to keep out going and recruiting people because it's not gonna be a painful process, right? Think about this. Right now I'm looking at my Australian Shepherd dog. Guess what happens if I chase him? He runs. Am I ever gonna catch him? Not a chance. Guess what happens if I just go wander through the yard? He's like on me like white on rice, like, what are you doing? What do you want? He's like touching me. He's like, hey, right? What if I start walking away, running away? Oh my God, he's like chasing me. Does that make sense? Imagine this. There's a horse that I want to go ride. If I have my reins and all my gear, whatever, I'm not a horse person, I'm like walking right towards the horse and I'm like, I'm gonna get you and we're gonna ride you. Guess what? That horse is like, you're freaking me out. I'm gonna run away. But I'm just walking out in the field, minding my own business. Doo-doo-doo. The horse is like, what are you doing here? I'm curious. You got like treats in your pocket? Right? So, yeah, it's like get people to be curious, give a little bit of information, then take it away so they keep coming to you. If you do this right, people will ask you for information and thank you for it, right? I want to give you a little bit deeper example. So one of the first companies I was successful with, and I remember we won our first cruise. And man, life-changing for me. I'm like, I want a cruise. Maybe I could be successful at this. Since then, I've gone on a bunch of trips. Why? Because it changed my belief level and what I was capable of. Anyways, back to the cruise. So if you won the cruise, they give you swag, including like this blue jacket, right? So then a lot of people won the cruise. And so the whole bunch of that ship was full of people with this blue jacket. And this one leader in the company, her husband didn't like to travel, so she brought her niece and nephew with her. And she's a very sharp businesswoman and was very interested in some things. And she told her kids, she's like, her niece and nephew, she's like, here's the deal. I brought you on this cruise, but we're doing an experiment. I want you to go up to all these people in blue jackets, 20 people each. And I want you to ask them, what is it that you do, right? Now, believe me, that is the golden question a trained network marketer was here. So what do you do? It's an opportunity to give you my spiel, right? Anyway, so these people they've been successful enough to win a cruise, okay? Well, niece and nephew came back and they're like, that was a disaster. Like nobody was able to give a coherent, concise reply to, what do you do? Right? It was a disaster. Shocking. It's maybe skill set number one you got to have as a network marketer. Does that make sense? It's like, tell them something in a way that is compelling and interesting, that brings them to you. They want to ask you more questions. It's their idea, okay? Super important. Most people, you ask them what they do and they like turn the fire hose on you. So you're like, whoa, that's enough. You're a little manic about this thing, right? It's like fire hoses are for crowd control, not for recruiting. You understand? It's like, be chill, right? Get them to be curious. Don't overload them with information, right? So I'll give you a very specific example, right? And maybe this specific example will help you go, okay, that's how we're going to do it. Right. So when I'm out and about and I'm kind of in a recruiting mode, I'm genuinely a curious person and I'm always curious. I wonder about this person, about their life and what's going on with them. And I do care about people. I'm not I'm not an extrovert, but I'm always very curious. Does that make sense? And my wife and I go to, we decided we're going to spend some time together. We go to a coffee shop. Okay. And we're sitting there and the people next to us, they're just talking about travel and different things like that. And I'm just, overhearing them. And then this lady, she comes with her dog. It's some sort of doodle. He's super cute. So I was like, oh, start talking to her about her dog, right? Common, like something in common. We start talking about dogs and this and that. And they're talking about travel. So again, I want to create some sort of curiosity. So she asked me what I do, right? So I just happened to mention that I would travel for business here, we traveled there for business, we traveled there for business, right? Now, I could have asked her, and often have, what do you do for work? How do you like it? Blah, blah, da, 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 right? Now, in that scenario, you would hope that if I'm super curious about what you do, you might ask me, well, what do you do, Steve, right? I'm waiting for that. If I don't get that question, what do you do? I'm going to mention that I have a business, but not say what, right? And if you don't ask me what my business is, then forget about it, right? You actually aren't interested in anything for anybody else, and I'm not even going to bother, right? Anyways, but I did mention business a couple times, right? And from her asking me, what do you do? From that point to her giving me $1,000, I went back and counted it, and I used approximately 35 words. 35 words. Some of you have used more words and unsuccessfully trying to recruit 1 or 2 people than I've used in a sum total of recruiting 100 people. And that's probably not even an exaggeration. So 35 words. How did I do that? Well, you got to catch people's attention, right? So she asked me, what do you do? I said, I will show you, right? That's going to catch someone's attention. They're like, show me. Like, this never experienced that before. They're like, what? Super curious, right? So I take out my phone, and on my phone in my photo gallery, I have an album. And in that album, it is going to have before and after pictures of whatever product I'm selling, okay? So I open up, I don't say anything. I just open it up, and I go one picture after the other. She's like, ooh, wow, amazing, cool, what is it, right? Now right there, I have to give a succinct, non-crazy answer, right? Something super simple. Oh, it's a supplement that and does this, right? Or have you heard of such and such frequency? Or have you heard about this breakthrough probiotic from Kazakhstan? Or something, like just something very simple. You follow me? Okay. And then drop it. Why? Drop it. Because I don't want to keep moving forward. We got to establish some curiosity. You start coming to me, and then we're like, oh, and by the way, yeah, so when was the last time you did such and such? How much did you like Hawaii? Like, tell me more about your job, right? So I did that, and she's like, whoa, how do I get more information? Okay. I'm not going to give her my website, and for the love of God, I'm not going to give her my business card. Why? Because I'm not in control anymore, right? What I do, I opened my phone, I looked at my phone, I'm not looking at her, right? And I said, what is your cell phone number? I'll text you something. I'm gonna look at my phone until she gives me her cell phone number. So I'm gonna text her my name just so she has it in contacts. I have a pre-prepared thing I probably copy and paste in here, right? And I send it off to her, and I might ask her, so what you saw, what was it that interested you, right? She might tell me. I might even ask her, are you looking for business as well? Just like, tell me, I want to know. Does that make sense? So now I know what her interest level is, and I have her contact information. I know she has information, and I'm going to follow up with her and be like, awesome. There's a short video on there. I'll probably just give you a call to answer any questions you might have. Now, I'm not to recruit her. I'm like, as a service, because you wanted information, and as a service, I'm going to make sure that we help you with any information. She's like, awesome, thanks so much. Now, I caught her attention enough. One of the links I sent her was a testimonial group, and she called me at 7 a.m. the next morning, and she's signing up for $1,000, and she spent like 3 hours in the testimonial group. Okay, right. So I'll give you another story. My mom, who was an amazing recruiter and she was smooth. And so we're living in Colorado near Aspen, and my mom goes to this carpet store, right? She's walking around the carpet store, and she strikes up a conversation with a woman. She goes, does the toxicity of the carpets ever bother you? The woman's like, oh my gosh, does it ever? She goes, I gained like 70 pounds. Da, 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 da. My mom goes, oh. She goes, have you ever heard of glyconutrients? The woman goes, no. My mom goes, have you ever heard of Manatech? The woman goes, no. My mom goes, oh my, we should have dinner sometime and talk about it. The woman goes, is it a network marketing company? My mother goes, yes, it is. How do you feel about that? The lady's like, I'm looking for something. So my mother doesn't give her any more information there. She says, come over for dinner. So they hang out at dinner, they're chit-chatting, they're not talking about anything about the company business. Finally, at the end of the dinner, the woman's like, tell me about this stuff already, will you, right? That lady, Linda, ended up putting 700 people into my network marketing business. But that's recruiting without chasing. Anyways, hope that gives you some ideas. Make a safe space for people. Make it a space where they feel like it's easy for them to say no. They're more likely to say yes. And if done right, they should be thanking you because you offered to give them information and send it to them. Anyways, next step is the 5 prospecting questions.